Hello, everybody. We are sitting in the car. We just got done with her doctor's appointment, which you can see I've been chewing my lip a little bit. That's a fun thing about being me, is when I get super nervous and anxious, I start chewing on my lip. So that's one good thing about wearing masks out in public, because no one can see me doing it. I was going to do this video tomorrow, but currently in a parking lot waiting for her papa to come back out, because he decided he needed to go to Walmart. So I figured I would jump on here and do a quick video. And I figured it'd probably be more appropriate to do it today than tomorrow because of what I want to talk about. So a year ago today was when when she was discharged from the hospital. She was born March 29th, and we left on April Fool's Day. She was in the NICU for a few days because I had a fun labor where she ended up getting a fever. So they had to, do some extra observing and whatnot. And, yeah, everything turned out great, but it was a stressful time. So, the story I want to talk about is what I feel like is a terrible April Fool's joke. So I wanted to get your opinion and see what you thought of it. So we were, like I said, we were in the NICU, and this is at the beginning of COVID, so it was kind of, everything was super duper crazy. And they wouldn't allow two people to be in the room with her. So me and my husband had to alternate. So I ended up spending the night with her, and Chris went home, to get everything prepared, because she was almost 2 weeks early, so he went home to get everything done. And Miss Mir, hi. So while he was doing that, I was there, obviously. So it's April 1st now, and I am so ready to be home. I was done being at that hospital, done dealing with all the COVID nonsense. I was just done. Wanted to go home in my own bed, start, living life, I guess. And so as I was waiting, the doctor came in and talked to me, and he warns me. He says, "We're playing a joke on so-and-so, so if you hear anything out of the ordinary, that's what's happening." And I was like, oh, okay. That's interesting. Now, I know, Alice wasn't in any, life-threatening danger, I guess. I mean, you never know with fevers, but for the most part, we knew she was okay. Now, there's other babies, premature babies, that are obviously in the NICU unit for a reason. So, my thought process to begin with was, okay, I understand the workplace, you need to have fun, but maybe not in this particular area. That's just me. Could be wrong, could be overreacting, whatever. So, I kind of was listening around, trying to see what was going on. I had nothing else to do. So I was sitting in the room, and I see this other nurse walk by with this plastic, rubbery looking baby doll type thing. I don't know if it was used as like a training tool or what it was, but the size of what a typical, depending on obviously what age, but like a preemie baby would be. And loading her up with some more puffs. So I saw them walking around with that and giggling. I'm like, what are they planning on doing? So the nurse that they were pranking
was, I guess, the head nurse or whatever, manager. I don't know what the medical field calls these types of people. But she was a very by-the-book kind of person, very black and white, which, in my opinion, when you're in the medical field, it's probably best to be that way. So, very nice lady. I saw her, and I guess, I don't know exactly the whole ordeal, because obviously I didn't get all the details, but they set up her, like, a room, and it was going to be her patient. They set up a room, and told her, it was a preemie, and da-da-da-da, and someone was in there setting up all the monitors for her. So she's like, oh, okay. So then, a couple minutes later, you kind of see people crowding around. Like, all the other nurses knew what was happening, except for obviously the one that the prank was being pulled on. So, everyone's kind of gathered around the room, and all the monitors and everything starts going off. And, like, bad sounds, like alarms, freaking out, bad things are happening type of thing. So, the nurse that they were pranking, I think her name was Mary, if I'm remembering correctly, obviously goes to run to see what's going on with her patient. And as soon as she gets there, someone else is in there already, holding the baby, and drops it on the floor. And you hear Mary scream, because she just thinks that this preemie baby was just dropped on the floor. Then obviously she realizes it was a doll, and everyone's laughing, and all is right with the world, right? Now, I know I'm a sensitive person. You're very talkative. I know I'm a sensitive person. I'm probably not the best person to play jokes on because of it, but to me, I feel like that was too far. And later on, I saw Mary. She came into my room because she was the one who was, giving me all the information on the being discharged and whatnot. And she was very shaken up. She was crying. Her face was all red, shaking. She was just, you could tell she was very upset. And I looked, I said, they played a joke on you, right? She goes, yeah, it's okay though, it's okay. Nobody got hurt. And I'm like, yeah. I said, but that's still a little messed up. And she's like, oh, it just shows that they care. I'm like, boy, who needs enemies when you've got friends like that? And, she started crying, and she goes, I was so scared that something had happened to that baby. And I was so mad for this lady, and I told her, and I'm not, like, an emotional hugger type person. I don't like physical touching people. But even pre-COVID, I was like, you want a hug? Okay. I wanted to hug this woman. That's how bad I felt for her. And I told her, I was like, I'm giving you an air hug because you need it. And she was like, thank you so much. She started crying again. And she was like, I guess, so grateful that someone had felt the same way she did. Because she went and she got me, like, extra blankets and more diapers and more formula, all sorts of stuff for Alice to take home with. And I don't know. Tell me in the comments, do you think that was too far? I feel like that's too far. And, when you're messing with nurses in life and death situations, that's messed up, in my opinion. But yeah, so, what do you think of April Fool's jokes? Like, I don't know, I remember I used to try to prank my dad when I was a kid, but obviously nothing to that extent. Like, I think I got a blonde wig one time and tried to convince him I went blonde. But besides that, it was never life or death. Never something like that. And, there's a lot of times where people think it's funny to do jokes about pregnancy announcements. And that's awful. Because, a lot of times there's people out there that, they can't get pregnant. And you're just going to joke about it? I don't know. To me, April Fool's jokes... April Fool's jokes are kind of annoying.
But yeah, in the comments below, let me know what you think. She agrees. She does not like them. She thinks this was the worst one yet, taking her to go get her shots. I know. Are you hungry now? You want your nummies? Alright, guys. Have a random day.